In his prophecies about the last days, Nephi declared that the record of his people shall speak out of the ground, and their speech shall be low out of the dust, and their voice shall be as one that hath a familiar spirit. Readers may wonder what a familiar spirit is, and why the voice of deceased Nephites was being compared to someone who had such a spirit. Throughout the Old Testament, familiar spirits are almost always discussed in a negative way. A familiar spirit was viewed as the ghost of someone who had passed away, and those who consulted such spirits, usually to predict the future, were called necromancers. It should be recognized, though, that Nephi's use of the term draws extensively from Isaiah 29. In this chapter, Isaiah used necromancy as a metaphor to warn the people of Jerusalem about their impending destruction. Naturally, Book of Mormon prophets felt they could follow Isaiah's example and adapt the metaphor for their own purposes. Much like deceased spirits were thought to be able to communicate with the living, Book of Mormon prophets knew that their words would speak to future generations out of the dust, long after they had passed away. Yet neither Isaiah nor the prophets in the Book of Mormon actually approved of the forbidden practice of necromancy. They simply used it as a metaphor for the sake of comparison. Taking an otherwise negative topic and using it to teach divine truths is not uncommon in the Bible. Old Testament prophets, for instance, would sometimes compare the God of Israel to the false gods of surrounding nations and show how he surpassed them in every way. When viewed in this light, the Book of Mormon can be seen as a miracle that turns the traditional concept of necromancy on its head. Rather than being brought forth through unholy means, it was given to the world by the gift and power of God, who, as the Apostle Paul taught, is Lord of both the living and the dead. And now you know why.